Welcome to your favorite show, Pink and Purple. My name is Tembipirai and I'm your host. Today in studio, I do have two beautiful and tall women. You know, tall height is associated with modeling. And yes, I have Medjy Mezilus, Miss Beauty International 2015, and Samantha N Tshuma, Miss Bulawayo 2009. But back then, in 1999, and Miss Zimbabwe 2010. Welcome to the studio, ladies.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Thank you for coming. Welcome, Medjy.
Thank you so much for having us.
All right. I'm sure I did leave some titles, something to do with being brand ambassador somewhere. Would you like to introduce yourselves fully?
Okay, I'll leave it to you to go first.
Okay, my name is Medjy. I'm a model, a humanitarian, and also a one-way coach. I have my own collection, Meme Collections.
All right.
So I'm a designer, I can say.
Okay.
And yes, and also I do a lot of other things too. So I'm doing
A bit of everything.
Yes, all right. And you'll tell us about the other things, right?
yes.
Okay, Samantha.
Okay, I think maybe you've said a bit of the modeling bit. Miss Bulawayo 2009, Miss Tourism Zimbabwe 2010. I think those are the bigger titles, right? And then there's a whole lot more that I won't mention.
All right.
And I run a modeling agency, Open Eye Studio.
All right.
And I'm into interior designing, but I'm a marketer by profession.
All right.
Okay. But most importantly, I'm a mother of two, and
Okay.
yes.
Okay. All right. I'm going to ask you about that
Okay.
one later. Medjy, would you like? You said you do a whole lot more other stuff, right? I'm sure there is more to the designing and everything. Tell us how you started.
Okay, moving. I was originally born in Haiti, moving to Canada from now like 11 years. I was a teacher first for a French immersion, especially for kindergarten, preschooler.
Okay.
After working with kids for almost 4 years, I was like, no, that's not my thing.
Nah, I'm too tall for this.
I like that. Even though I love kids, but to wake up every day doing something over and over that I didn't really enjoy it, even though I love kids. So being in the modeling industry too at the same time, and I feel like that was my passion.
Right.
That was something that I love, even though like with closing eyes, I can think about something. Okay, what next? What should I do? Like I love fashion. I love modeling. I love anything that's related to fashion.
Right.
So from there, as I said at the beginning, I was a model. So I've been doing that for almost 9 years. And because of my age, I was like, okay, I cannot do modeling for the rest of my life. So I have to do something else.
All right.
So from modeling, I become a one-way coach.
Okay.
So I train girls that want to be in this industry, that want to be confident about themselves on the one way, that want to know how to carry themselves on one way, because you know it's all about posture, and also some girls are shy. So I was very happy to do that, to help other young girls, young men that want to be in this industry. Okay. And also from there, I'm like, okay, what else? What else should I do?
All right, interesting.
And as my mom was like a fashion designer back home, I tried to follow her footsteps. So now I can say I'm a designer now. I'm an upcoming designer. And hopefully in the next 3 to 5 years, I can become like
you will be
international.
The biggest ever. Sam, what's your story?
And by the way, I'm wearing Meme Collections. It's important to say that.
Yes, it is.
All right. Lovely. Samantha, your story.
Getting into modeling, like I said, I'm a marketer by profession.
Right.
But that's not me. Like she said, she's not a teacher.
Yes.
Okay. So I got into modeling very young age. Well, I was a tomboy in primary school.
I know.
And I only had a few female friends, but everything else was. And then one point I said, but I love these women. I love how they carry themselves, how they walk and how they talk. And then on the other hand, I just like playing with the boys. It's soccer. You were dropping our pants. I said, let me give it a try.
Yeah.
So I started modeling in primary school, and I obviously didn't win the first title. So I was like, oh, I'm not going to do this again.
Yeah.
And then all the time I'd watch TV, I'll see myself scrolling back to anything to do with modeling and fashion.
Yeah.
And I loved how they carried themselves and how they set. And
Yes.
so I said, but how about I try and do that? So I then started modeling.
Okay.
So I used to do little beauty pageants and not really the fashion world, because you know how in Zimbabwe the runway isn't as big, but then
Yes.
pageantry is almost there. We're getting there.
Yeah.
So I started off with pageantry, of course.
Right.
And yeah, that's how the modeling bit started.
Viewers will take a short break to join us after these messages. Welcome back to Pink and Purple. If you're just joining us, I'm in studio with Medjy Mezilus and Samantha N Tshuma, two beautiful models. So, ladies, why is modeling important? Like, to you, yes, as an individual.
Okay. Personally, I think it's important because of where it has taken me
All right.
as a person.
Okay.
You know, I've been to places I never thought I'd be growing up, you know, and I've met the most important people that I never dreamt I'd meet.
Yes.
So I think modeling has been really good to me, and that's why I think that's why I love it, actually.
Right. It has made you
Kind of.
Okay. All right. And Medjy?
It's like I would say why a singer is important in this industry. You will need, like, probably the singer is not the one that writing all the song, so they need someone to sing it.
Yeah.
So as a designer, for me, I think modeling is important because you want someone to represent your brand.
Yes.
I cannot make my clothes and wear all of them and go on the street. Look at me. So you need someone to represent your brand. So I think it's the same thing too. And also, for me, I think a lot of people need to respect models, not just, oh, they're just being beautiful, they're just doing that.
Especially in Africa.
Yeah.
Well, Zimbabwe. Per se.
Not only in Africa, even in Canada too. Sometimes they'll think like, oh, it's just about being famous. It's all about being glamorous, being like, no, it's not that. It's a job too. That's why I always say, if you're going to hire someone to represent your brand, you have to pay. You have to pay.
Yeah.
Because it's a job. It's not a hobby. It's
a lot of work.
It's a lot of work. As a model, I know how important it is to represent someone, because especially it's not all about you. It's about the designer too. Okay. So that's why I can say, like, it's not why the model is important. It's like I say, it's not just for fun.
Yes,
it's a job.
Yes.
I mean,
So
just to
we
add
need
on,
models. If you're a designer, you need models. You need
Yes.
someone to represent your brand. So you have to respect it too.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right,
and not
to add
only
on.
designers, really. I think most brands use models to advertise,
Yeah.
Exactly.
right? And behind the scenes, the waking up in the morning for the photo shoots, 5 a.m., 4 a.m., people think modeling is not important.
Yeah.
Modeling is looking good and looking tall and walking down on the runway. But there's so much that happens behind the scenes, you know what I mean? So it is very important, and people should actually respect models for
Right,
that,
yes.
okay? And most of the times people think models are brainless people.
Yes.
I mean,
I know it's
a-
associated
yes,
with you're
it's-
just
yes,
beautiful and tall,
but
and
I beg to differ. I mean, as we talk, then we're going to obviously talk about that. But it's challenging as well, you know, because like I'll keep tapping on behind the scenes. There's so much that happens behind. Be it a fashion show, be it a photo shoot,
Right.
be it pageantry. There's so much work put into the end product.
Right.
All you see is, oh, okay, oh, she's with Econet. Oh, congratulations,
Yeah.
Sam. She's working with this. But what happened? The journey from there for me to
Yes.
get there has been crazy. So it's it's very important.
Okay, but also now that you've already mentioned that a lot of modeling or models are associated with beauty with no brains, why is that so? Is it because people feel you're showing too much skin or what?
Okay, I'll go. I thought you wanted to say something.
Since you brought it up.
Yes. Okay, I think, yes, sometimes it's not, okay, I may know stuff that you don't know, and you may, I mean, I learn from you and you learn from me. Okay, the only reason that sometimes it's associated with beauty without brain is because sometimes you're put on the spot, okay?
Right.
Unlike most people behind the cameras and whatnot, you're put on the spot, you ask me a question and I don't know that particular answer, okay, at that particular time, and I don't know what to say, and I'm already painted as beauty without brains.
Okay.
Do you get my point? But I feel it's really unfair.
Yes,
I think I was just looking for a good word for that. It's really unfair because I may be in marketing, like I said, and you're in sciences, and I can learn from you and you can learn from me. There's stuff I learned that you may not know.
That I don't know totally.
Yes. So
I've already learned,
models,
I mean,
you've
here.
learned some stuff. You know? So I think that's why, because you're always put on a spot to answer, especially beauty pageantry.
Okay.
You're put on a spot to say something and you don't know the answer there. And most people in the crowd maybe don't even know the answer.
No, either.
You understand?
Exactly.
And then people are now painted, oh, beauty without brains.
Yeah,
I've
and
seen
sometimes it's the nerves, you know, when
it is the nerves.
they just hit you, you ask a question and you go blank. You don't know what to say.
I think that's where it came from. But I think most of the models I've worked with or that I know are actually brilliant and good.
Yes. All right, interesting. Moving on to women generally in modeling, right? I know you mentioned that you work with both males and females for your runway and stuff. Do you feel that women have taken back their power in owning themselves as models?
That's a big question. Actually, yes. Especially compared to the year before, how people used to think about modeling. It's all about someone that's really beautiful, someone that's really tall, someone that the thing that belong in this industry. But nowadays it's started to change. That's why you can see, like, I don't know if you know this girl, Willow Hilo, I don't remember last name, but she has like a skin condition. Okay. So she used that to empower other young girls that has this condition. Not only girls, but also men too. Yeah. So she become like a voice for those people. And also I have a friend too that has kid ears, like in her legs. Just because of that, she got rejected from a lot of agency because of that. Now she's a spokesmodel for women especially. Wow. So I think it's very important as a woman to find your strength in this industry, to stand up, to say, okay, yes, I might have this condition. I might not the beautiful girl, but I'm going to fight to represent myself and also to motivate other young women. Yeah. Because most of the time they think like we don't belong in not belong in this industry in a way.
They don't fit in?
Yes.
You're right.
But for men, it's like, it's okay because for them, they don't really have to put makeup
they don't really have to look good,
have this specific look.
All right.
But I think it's very important as a woman to stand up to talk about
whatever condition you have and embrace it.
Exactly, to embrace it.
All right.
So
okay.
I think it's good for like to stand up for yourself and continue to represent women.
Right. Okay, interesting. Viewers, don't move. We'll take another short break. Join us after these messages. Welcome back to your favorite show, and right now it's game time. Right, we're going to play a little game. You pick a question, hand it over to me, and I will ask you, and you answer truthfully.
Can she go first?
Okay, all right.
God.
Visitors first. Huh?
All right.
Okay.
Give me. Right. Medjy, your question is, so Medjy, if you could replace the handshake as a greeting, what interesting greeting would you replace it with? Instead of us saying, hi, I'm Medjy, I'm Thembi.
Hug.
Hug, okay.
I love
hugging.
I love hugging too.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
is it one? I don't know.
It's two. Okay, all right. Would you rather go hungry for 3 days or share your toothbrush with a stranger?
Go hungry for 3 days. Share toothbrush with a stranger. I'll go hungry for 3 days.
Yeah, I know, right?
I'm like, ooh.
Toothbrush is like,
Yes.
ew.
Yes.
Okay.
This was
thinking
fun. Are
too
we
much.
still going on?
No, we're done. Thank
Oh,
you. But it was fun, actually. So, moving on, rounding up as well. What are the international standards when it comes to modeling, especially for you, Medjy? You live in a country where, obviously, I don't know, more white people and black people, and sometimes I'm sure you're required to be
Of a certain
yes,
size.
of a certain height or skin color. How do you feel about that? And yeah, what's your experience with international standards in modeling?
You know, sometimes I feel like it's very unfair in a way because a lot of the time it's either you white or you black.
Enjoy your
like
label.
really like dark skin.
Yeah.
So I remember when I first started in modeling, the first agency really loved me. But it was not a really big agency.
Right.
So I decided to go to a bigger agency that has like a bigger name that send most of the model like international, like New York, Paris, and everything. I remember I have my portfolio, very confident, work in the agency, and they say, "Oh, I'm sorry about that, but we already have another black girl."
Girl, but you're
And
black. Yeah.
Exactly. And I was like, okay, how many I say that. I say, how many white girls do you have in your agency? Only one? And they say, what do you mean by that?
Yeah.
I say, yes, because you say you already have one black girl.
Yes.
And I'm pretty sure you have like a lot of
Yes,
white
whites, yeah.
women. So why I have to be like,
Sidelined,
yes,
yeah.
exactly. Consider like I'm not that black. I'm
yes.
not that white. Obviously,
Yes.
I'm not. But it was kind of painful in a way
Yeah.
for them to judge me by my skin color,
yeah.
not what I can deliver on
Yes,
on one way, like in front of camera.
Right.
So it was kind of painful, and I think it's still something that's still going on until now. Even though a lot of young women are still a lot of young models are still fighting about that to make a change. And yeah, so that's all I can say. It's hard, but that's why as a one-way coach now, I'm trying to motivate young girls to say, okay, you know, there's much more you can do as a model.
Yeah.
Don't
Despite your skin color or whatever.
Don't let them describe you as a specific person.
Okay.
Go further in this industry and be you.
All right. Cool.
And maybe to add on to what you said, I over the years, what I've learned with the traveling, and like you said, you're rejected more than you're taken.
Yes.
Okay. I also think it's about finding yourself, and trying to associate yourself with the type of brands you think are specifically looking for someone like you. Okay, like she said, sometimes you can try and go to a big agency, but they may not take you.
Yeah.
And you don't know, maybe your big break can be from a small agency.
Yes,
okay.
yes, you start
so
there.
when I started in Cape Town, I applied at so many agencies, and some rejected me, obviously, but some took me in. And that's where I learned to say, and what I've realized is most of these agencies internationally, they've got seasons. They've got a season where they're looking for your dark-skinned and tall girls, okay? And it's for specific people, okay? And then some are looking for very light-skinned, and some are looking for natural hair, some are looking for straight hair, and do you understand? So I think also you need to research what the agency
is looking for before you get yourself
yes,
into it. Yeah.
who their clientele is before you hand over your portfolio.
Okay.
Do you understand?
Sure.
Because you can break yourself hard, because like I said, it is quite tough in this industry.
Yeah.
But people think it's all glitz and glam.
Yeah.
But it's not. And for some reason, like I said, I run a modeling agency myself, and I'm more of, I do both. Yes, I do get jobs for the young girls, but I'm more of training and building and grooming you first before you get into, so you understand.
Right.
I've had so many models after 2 months of grooming, and you're ready, you're like, oh, okay, we're looking for jobs. After a year, you're like, oh, I haven't gotten a job. So I say to you, before you even come to the agency, I want you to understand that this is a tough industry, and you have to be patient.
Okay.
You may get your first job after 6 months, after 6 years.
Yes.
Okay, because that person who's looking for you has not looked for you yet.
Okay.
Exactly.
Do you understand? And God places you
Yeah.
at certain places for a certain reason at a certain time.
Right.
Yes.
Okay. I have one last question for you, briefly, quickly, if you can answer for me. We've had, I think, about 3 former Miss Zimbabweans nude pictures leaked. What's your comment on that?
So now my take on the pictures that were leaked is, yes, it happened, and you were famous then, and it was ought to happen.
Right.
So life goes on.
Okay. All right. Interesting. I wish we could go on and on and on.
Are we done?
But yes. Already. Thank you so much for coming on to the show. It was lovely having you too.
Thank you very much
made
for
me
having
feel
us.
short. But 3 words. I want you, like literally 3 words, your last words. What do you have to say to whoever's watching right now in 3 words? Okay, let's make it 5, but like 3 words, like I love you. It could be anything right now.
Face your fears.
Okay, thank you. That's beautiful. All right.
Trust in God.
Wow. Okay.
That's it.
All right. That's amazing. Thank you so much once again, Samantha N Mezilus, for coming on to the show.
Thank you for having
you,
us,
Hannah.
Tammy.
All right, viewers, that's all we had for you today. Remember to face your fears and trust in God. From me, Tim Fida, and the crew behind the scenes, it's goodbye.